Welcome to an improvised Wibbit tutorial. I apologize for my voice, but here's what we're gonna do. Brian?
Yes.
You have to teach me how to do some Photoshop.
Alright.
I went to a Washington Redskins game last night. I have some pictures, and I want you to show me how to do something cool with them. And my voice is messed up because I was yelling a lot at the game.
Alright.
What are you gonna do?
So, the only reason anybody would possibly want to learn Photoshop is so that they could put their head on somebody else.
That's pretty much the only reason why.
Yeah.
That
Like I might look kind of weak, so I'll take a picture of like Arnold surrounded by 50 women, and I'll put my head on his face. I mean, my face on his head, and I'm like, yeah, that's really me, dude. Seriously.
So this is the directory where we have the pictures, and Brian's gonna grab this one that he's got his mouse on. Open that one real quick. That is a photograph of me and the lovely Molly at the Redskins game from our seats. And Brian, what did you want to do with this picture?
I'm gonna put my face on here, so I'm like, meh, to Kevin, since you know. Oh, thank you, Molly.
And actually, ladies and gentlemen, Brian, because you and I are the only one that watch these videos.
Yeah.
We were just handed rainbow sherbet.
Wow, that's
from the lovely girl you see in this
ginormous amount
photograph.
of rainbow sherbet.
Oh, hold on, we gotta stop this.
So basically, since for whatever reason, I wish my face was right here. So I'm gonna put my face there, and I'm gonna put it on my MySpace page and be like, everybody, look at this man I have.
We actually created our own photograph a minute ago.
Yeah, of me looking up like.
Open the photograph. Zoom in a little bit because this is a brilliant photograph.
Little out of focus, but it'll do the trick. We're not worried too much about it.
Well, plus you're also going to be making it smaller, so you're not going to really notice it as much.
Right, that's true.
Brian with his beautiful little look on his face.
So this is me going, huh.
Oh, I'm with Kevin. I'm so lucky at the Redskins game.
All right, so since
Redskins rock, by the way.
Yeah, football sucks.
Football is awesome. So what are you doing right now, bro? Slow down.
I'm sorry.
Like you're acting.
Okay,
like
so I opened.
Okay, you opened up the photograph.
Okay, so I opened. Yes. Okay, so we have the photograph of my face.
Okay.
So this is like a selection tool.
Okay.
This is assuming that you know the basic gist of what Photoshop is.
And I don't. I'm so bad at Photoshop.
So anyway, this is called the lasso tool.
Okay.
So you have a couple different versions of a lasso tool. I could use a magnetic lasso, which will try to assume the shape that I'm going for. See how it's kind of like trying to automatically shape itself to my head?
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's like a magnetic lasso. There's a lot of disadvantages to it because like the shadow's black and my hair is kind of dark.
Yeah,
so
and plus it also misses your head right there.
It's not very precise, but it's quick and dirty, and if it's a very obvious difference, it works. So this is a freehand lasso, the smooth one, so you just
move wherever you
move
want.
around.
Make it a little hard.
The one in the middle is a polygonal lasso tool. So what you do is you just kind of set points. So every time you click, you're making a new point, and it creates the polygon. The multi-sided shape. That is the selection. And when you double-click it, it'll finish the shape, and you'll see the selection jumping around. So we're just going to do a copy and paste. Everybody knows a copy and paste.
I hope so.
Lovely.
All right, zoom in on this picture.
There's my floating head.
All right, let's get a good shot of what it looks like before. All right. We are about to completely make this picture. We should just leave it like that.
Hey, you guys. Hey there, buddy. Hey.
It's like a South Park cartoon.
Sorry, we got to cut this out.
No, I'm leaving that.
Hey, you guys. Hey. Let's go to the football game, eh, buddy? I think I left my pop on the car.
Oh, so immature.
Come to waveit.net. There's a cat fucking my leg right as we speak. Oh, Canada. I'm gonna eat Molly's head.
That's quite possibly the funniest thing I've seen in my entire life.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, that's staying in the final cut.
Okay, we're done. So we have our layers here. So the first layer is the background.
Okay.
Which we can turn on and off. Oh my God, cat! This cat is having sex with my hand and the mouse. Now I have cat puss juice all over my fingers, and I'm trying to eat sherbet.
Rainbow sherbet.
So okay, so here's the layer of my head. So you can see a little preview of my head here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the little eyeball makes it go away.
Right. So this is like the visibility eyeball.
Okay.
So down here is the layer mask tool. So we'll click here to add a layer mask. So you're gonna see like a little link from the picture.
What does that do?
This there?
Yeah.
So it makes like a layer on top of this that's bound to the layer that you have selected. And it's pretty much like another picture right on top where right now it's all white. And when it's white, you can see the picture that is bound to the layer.
Mm-hmm.
But if I paint a black line, then you'll see through it. So that's basically what a mask does. So the reason I'll use a mask for this is because if I make a mistake, I can just correct it later by switching to an opposite color.
All right. So
but you'll see.
What are you doing?
Okay. So now I have the brush selected. So I clicked on the brush size options, and I'm going to a larger brush size so I can do this a little quicker. And we'll leave the opacity like that for now. So basically, I'm just going to paint black on the edges of my face, so I just have my face left.
Okay. And you're cutting your hair off too?
Yeah, because I want to use Molly's hair.
Okay. And you're using Molly's ear as well?
No, I'm leaving my ear in there.
All right.
So I don't think you can see her ear.
Got to get rid of the shirt too.
Yeah, so I'll leave the shirt in there.
That is such a brilliant photograph of you.
So now this tool isn't very precise. You can see how the edges aren't like very sharp edges.
Yeah.
But we can fix that later.
Isn't that what you want though?
Not necessarily, because
doesn't that make
I
it
want
so
my
that
neck to like go right against the shirt. Alright, so now we just have my face. So we're going to hit Control-T to transform the layer. Actually, I'll just go through a menu since it's more visual. So we'll go to Edit, Transform, Scale. Well, actually, we could just do Free Transform, and it gives us the option to rotate or scale. Oh, excuse me.
To rotate or what?
Or map. Okay, so I'm going to grab the upper left-hand corner of this image and scale it down so it's roughly the same size as her head. But my face doesn't really look right, like the line of my shirt doesn't really match hers, so I'm actually just going to kind of rotate my face a little bit so it matches a little better.
And you're looking right up at me.
And I'll just kind of try to get my head generally so it's about the proper size. So that looks like it's about it. Alright, so already
it already looks great.
Kind of weird looking.
Yeah, it's
so with the layer mask, like let's say I wanted to use part of her nose, so I'll just beep. So now I have her mouth, my nose.
Wow, that's crazy looking.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
That's creepy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
How's that?
That's beautiful.
Kevin volunteers in his spare time to help the special kids.
Molly.
Sometimes he rapes them.
We're not mean to people. We just have fun. Okay.
All right.
Oh, I have tears in my eyes.
Yeah, same here.
Now what?
So the line of the shirt I want to make a little more precise. So let's make the brush a little smaller.
Okay.
And we'll use a straight-edged brush. Let's do about 19. That's a good size. So I'm going to paint black as accurately as I can. Actually, you know what? Let's just use the lasso tool again. That way I can be as precise as I'd like.
Oh, wow.
And I'll cut out my neck too.
So you're just
Double-click.
kind of clicking around in circles
Yep.
to complete that.
And if I hit Alt-Delete, it's going to fill it with the color in the foreground,
Which is black.
which is black. So that doesn't really look right. So we'll just take a little bit more off. I'm not used to doing this with a mouse. Bear with me, folks. Okay, so I'm going to make a brush a little bit bigger, and I'm going to take the opacity and the flow down so that it's just going to kind of blend in what I'm doing. Wow, I can't do anything with this stupid mouse.
Or maybe you just can't do anything at all. You ever think about that?
It's possible.
Oh, look at you.
Where is, we could just do this in reverse.
What?
Okay, so I'm just going to get that whole area out.
Okay.
And I will white out or make opaque the inside.
How did you do that?
I painted further than I should have, and then I just did the opposite on the inside.
How do you like change it?
You just switch from white to black.
Oh, on the left thing. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Ah. Ah.
Okay, so now my neck is matched up a little better with the neck of the shirt. So the next thing we want to do is,
47.
although it is kind of funny looking with me having bangs, I probably shouldn't have those.
All right. You gonna
So
get rid of your bangs?
we'll get rid of the bangs. So I could either make the attempt of just using her bangs, or her whatever, and then trying to match the skin colors, but it's probably not going to work so well. Oh, that's funny looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this clone tool here, the rubber stamp tool, clone tool, depends on what you want to call it, what version you're using. And if I hold down Alt, you'll see a little target icon. So when I click the target icon, I'm putting a marker there. Now the next place I click, it's going to hold where that marker was and paint where that marker was where I'm now going to click. So you can see the little crosshair to the left.
Yeah.
That's the source, and the circle is where I'm actually painting that source.
Oh, wow.
So I can actually just paint whatever's over there here. Now it's not painting because I have the layer, the mask layer selected, so I'm going to select the actual picture. And you'll see I'm actually just painting out using skin tones from the other, from over the side. And when you're using the stamp tool, you want to change up where your source is, otherwise you'll have patterns of things repeat.
Right.
And it'll look kind of funny.
So what you're doing is you're just letting go of what, Control or Alt?
Yeah, I'm actually just holding Alt to pick a new source, clicking, and then clicking to the next spot I want to paint.
Yeah, just moving around to keep it.
Keep it fresh. 'Cause I'm so fresh and clean, so fresh and so clean, clean.
You're really starting to look pretty, Brian. I like your eyebrows. I mean,
Yeah.
Those are nice.
I have the coolest eyebrows ever. My hope is, some people have said yeah, you can get those trimmed up.
You mean trimmed down?
Right, there you go. But I want to be one of those guys where when I'm 60, I have the wings coming off my head. So that's actually what I'm aiming for. So if you wonder what the hell's wrong with him? Why does he have eyebrows like that? There's nothing wrong with me. I just want huge bushy eyebrows that are gray when I'm older.
Are you going to be one of those old men that have hair shooting out of your ears?
Yeah. And it takes a while to grow those, so I'm getting...
It takes 60 years?
Oh yeah, so really, and so the stamp tool does a pretty good job of...
Wow, look at that, dude.
Forehead.
That is crazy.
So now I have no more hair.
Oh, wow.
Although it's a little speckled. I kind of rushed it a little bit, but it doesn't matter. For the sake of this picture, it's okay. So there's a line.
Why is there why am I messed up looking?
Well, because there's still some...
Because God hates me, but besides that...
There's still some of the original picture that hasn't been completely painted out. So I'll just touch that up.
With what?
I just did the black paint on the layer mask, and I just took it out.
I never knew anything about layer masks. This is the first time I've heard of this.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Now the next thing I want to do is change my skin tone so it matches my hand.
You mean Molly's hand? That's not your hand. I hate to break it to you.
Oh,
that
yeah.
ring on there is not yours.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I have the layer selected, so I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and Levels. That's the first thing I'm going to change. So what the levels are is you have 2 points down here from complete black to complete white. Now this point matches this point, white to white, black to black. So this histogram is like a graph of how many completely black pixels there are compared to the entire picture. How many mid-range? It's just grayscale. It's it converts the picture grayscale, and this is how many complete white, how many complete black. So if we pull this back in, you'll notice that it gets really white, because we're saying now that there's this much of white.
You mean your face, that layer?
Well, because we selected that layer.
Right.
But you can do this on any layer. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I just want to have the kind of like the light values of my face match the light values of your face a little better. So by moving this, I'm actually saying that the lightest possible value is where this is.
Ah.
So I'm taking down the complete white a little bit. I'm going to add a little contrast by dragging the slider out to the right from the middle, so the mid-range is like weighted towards light.
That's starting to look really cool.
And actually, I don't really want to change that much. Okay, so that's roughly what we're looking for. So the next thing we want to do is replace the color. So we'll go to Image Adjustments, Replace Color. Let me get this on the screen here. Okay, so we have the eyedropper tool, or the color picker. We'll pick a color on my head, and you can adjust the fuzziness level for the threshold of how close the color we selected should be to what the actual selection is. So we'll get about there. It looks like it's more or less my face. So we can take the saturation down a little bit. Maybe not quite that much. Take the lightness down a little. Change the hue some. And keep in mind we're trying to match the hand on the bottom. So maybe actually...
He has a lot of work to do. We're trying to make Brian look like an Indian.
So I'll take the lightness down a little bit.
Hey Molly, look.
Alright, so that's...
Look at your face.
So that's roughly... That's roughly the same-ish color. More or less. And
good work.
the last thing that I want to do is... the nose just doesn't fit.
So your nose just doesn't fit.
It just doesn't fit. It just doesn't, like, you know... It just kind of... It's not feminine. It's not a feminine nose.
Yeah, you got a good point.
So, although the nose is going to look even, like, more messed up once I put this one on...
Yeah, how do you undo? What was that?
Control Z.
Nah.
It's kind of
It's pretty
universal.
standard, yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to make it so it's not 100% flow, and we're just going to kind of see if we can just... I'm going to make my nose all, like, lopsided and weird. I don't really care.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, so I actually want to maintain, like, just a little bit of my nose. So I'm going to switch this to white, and tet, 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 tet. I want the reflections
That
to
way
be consistent.
it also looks straighter when you do that too. Because it doesn't completely match up with her nose.
Right. I just don't want that line there. So if I can just find a happy medium. Which I won't.
At least not in the short span of time that we have.
Yeah. So that's about close enough. So that's how you Photoshop your head on somebody else.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that all?
That's about it. Hope you
Okay.
enjoyed the tutorial. Now go put your head on a skinny person. Because if you're sitting at a computer watching these, you're obviously a fat ass.
Like us.
Seacrest out.